so sleepy.
All right, so let me see now. I think it should be better now.
Okay.
It's a little better. It's not great, but it's a little better. Right, baby, now? All right, so sorry about that, y'all. We had to go back and reload the page for some reason. Every once in a while, it gets like blurry. I think we're actually hooked up like to the wrong
Wi-Fi.
Yeah, we have a Wi-Fi that is like our main one, and then an extender that I have for downstairs in the garage. So what's up, everybody? Hopefully everybody's having a good night. All right, so I'm going to leave it on this and close this one out.
Okay.
Because that's why it's,
Okay.
I think that's why it's slow. All right.
Yeah, just like as long as I can do this. I hate the other one when it's like.
It looks better now. I look better now. All right. Hold on. Let me get her comments back. There we go. All right. So I'm gonna let Rachel to it. Merv, Boost, Shelly, Megan, Jessica, how you doing? Vic, Annie, Shannon, Mandy, Marissa. All right, Monica, how you doing, Monica?
Oh yeah, remind me. I have to ask you something about Monica. That she had messaged me.
Okay.
Don't let me forget.
All right. Have a great night, y'all. What else? I think that's it. Have a great night. Look at baby, dude. Baby,
she's
dude.
So tired.
Baby, my lovely baby. What's all this show in the midriff, huh? Damn, you giving the show out, huh?
Maybe.
Times
are hard.
Times are hard.
Sometimes you got to make that extra money.
That's not the only thing that's hard. It's not that only thing that's hard. What, are you going to punch me?
No, I was going to push you.
She was about to punch me. You see that shit?
Look at my baby. I hope everyone's having a good night.
Look at these feet. Look at these little feet.
They really are cute feet.
They are. Look at them feet. I love them feet, baby, do.
So.
Laura, thank you, Laura.
Thank you, Laura.
Thank you very much, sister. Thank you.
Yeah, so I hope everyone's having a good night. Yeah, she's getting really big, but I'm doing okay, Jessica. You know, I've had better days. So, you know, it's just one of those times like, you know, when you're just kind of going through something. Like I was having a really great couple days and then something kind of happened and I don't know. But thank you. I think she's beautiful, but I'm biased. So yes, PMS for real. That is, listen, I'm sorry. This is Women's Wednesday. So I'm going to bring that up right now. That is a big thing for me. It definitely has a lot to do with things. So I don't know if y'all can relate, but I feel like the older I get, the more that happens to me. But yes, I am a nurse. I'm not working at the moment. Right now I'm a stay-at-home mom. So yes. Yes.
Oh, I was tripping. I thought I heard something. That's what I thought I heard, but I just was.
You were thinking of something different?
No, I don't know. I just.
So, I'm glad I made you feel better yesterday, Monica. Um, but yeah, like I said, I'm only 35, so I'm not really even that old. But I guess that is something that I'm dealing with. Also, too, I just feel like Mercy is a child of a different breed. Okay, like she is the happiest little baby, so happy, constantly smiling. She but she doesn't sleep, as we all kind of know about this. And also she just wants to be held 24/7. I was trying to go through, like, I'm trying to organize stuff right now. Frank brought like a whole bunch of stuff that somebody had given us for clothes for Mercy, and like, just kind of like toys that they outgrew and stuff, which was awesome. But now I'm trying to go through our stuff. It's just like this. I feel like, you get rid of one thing and then you kind of collect three more. And it's like stuff like with the kids, like toys, and I don't know. But for me, that clutter gives me anxiety. And right now, trying to go through that and then having her, I mean, this little girl does not even go into a pack and play. She doesn't like her pack and play. She doesn't like her walker. She doesn't like her high chair. Literally, this is the only thing she likes. So if I'm putting her down, I know I'm going to hear her cry. And that's just kind of how it is. So, that it's overwhelming. Being a mother is overwhelming. And I know it's Women's Wednesday, so not all of us are mothers, and I'm not saying that. But I just wanted to kind of bring that up too, because I was thinking about, for me, like, not being a stay-at-home mom is a great job. It's a very rewarding job. I love it. And I love being a stay-at-home mom. On the other hand, I have talked about possibly going back to work. And I feel like there was a comment made to me by somebody, and they were like, basically, that when you're a stay-at-home mom, it's, how did they say it? That you don't really do anything. And I was like, wait, what? I was like, for me, I don't know. I just felt like kind of insulted, because I feel like my work is never ending. Yes, right, Marissa? It is hard. It is very hard. And not only that, it's like one of those things, I don't know how to say it. Like, you might go to your job and put in, 8 hours, say. Put in your 8-hour work. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to stand with her. And it would be like, let me say you want to run 2 miles. I feel like going to a regular job, it's like you're running real fast. You're 2 miles and you have your end in sight and then you're done. Where being a stay-at-home mom is like your 2 miles, you might get to walk, you might get to jog, you might get to run, you might have to go backwards, but there's really no end in sight. I don't know if that makes sense. So it's just kind of like your job is never done. Where when you're at a job, you get to be able to know when you're going to sleep and, just know those things. Sometimes for me, it's like not knowing when I'm going to be able to sleep and not knowing if I'm going to be able to get things accomplished some days, because kind of it's, having an 8.5-month-old, some days it's up to her. So yeah, she is ready for bed, but if I put her down, she'll probably cry. Yeah, right, gypsy girl, right. Like, you get breaks at a job. And I'm not saying, I respect everybody for anything that they do. I know being a stay-at-home mom is not for everybody. And I know vice versa, So I just feel like, I guess sometimes it's like, it just kind of goes down to one of those things like, don't judge until you've actually had to do it. Like I said, I take a lot of pride in what I do. And I just felt very insulted by that comment from somebody. So anyhow, yeah, you don't clock out. There's no clocking out. No, never. So I even called my mom earlier and I was like, I need help, and she's like, I'm sorry, I can't help you tonight. Maybe this weekend I can come over or, and that was, kind of her. But, and I also, my niece also, she always says she can help on her days off too, which is also very helpful. Because, I feel like in this kind of a situation, you need support. Just like in recovery, it's like you need support. So, yeah, and this wasn't to like, get any praise or anything like that. I just wanted to kind of put my feelings out. Yeah, right, Honda Mommy? Like, yes. And even when you are a mom and you are working, I feel like society has put standards on women and mothers that it's just like one of those things where it's like you'll never be able to balance. I know a lot of people talk about balance. For me, there's no balance. If I'm going to do really good in one area, I'm going to slack in another. That's just how it is. There is no, like, I just can't, for me, if that's just how it is. So if I, am being really on top of, I don't know, say my house, being on top of the kid, all that stuff, I'm going to slack in, say a social life or maybe even time with my husband. That's going to not, there's, what I'm saying? Like that's going to have to slack at that time. And then vice versa though, I might have to let my house go for a couple of days because something else came up. So I feel like I'm always cleaning, right, Jessica? I feel like that too. Always cleaning. And I do enjoy cleaning actually when I can do it. So, but I just wanted to, put that out there. Oh, you're welcome, Rosa. I'm glad you messaged me. So, but yeah, I just cleaning and screaming. Yes. Seriously, like my kids, it's just, I mean, people that have kids know, you just know. You just know how it is. And granted, I have older daughters, but that's a challenge in itself. They're at the age where they want to do their own thing and they think, they're really helpful, but, they don't always want to. And yeah, Mercy is knocked out. I might actually see if one of my daughters they like to snuggle with her. They wait till I put her to sleep and then they like to go lay down with her. Maintaining Megan, I am an LPN. So after I was clean for a couple years, I went to trade school. It was a 1-year program and got my LPN license. So it was really hard, but I did it and I do enjoy. So I feel like this is a good question. I don't know. It is Women's Wednesday, so I am going to answer this. Breastfeeding, pros and cons. So I have 5 children. I did not breastfeed all of them, but I exclusively breastfed some of them. So I feel like I kind of went both ways on different children. I feel like it's definitely on, you know, what you want to do. I feel like for me, it was a really good bonding experience. I'm definitely pro breastfeeding. I mean, I'm pro both. With my first one, I did not breastfeed. With my twins, I exclusively breastfed, for over a year. With my son who's 6, I exclusively breastfed him for over a year. With Mercy, my youngest, I did breastfeed for a couple months. She was colic. I had postpartum depression. I was just not in a good state, and it was a lot. So I tried to kind of supplement to give myself a break. And then I ended up just switching to complete formula, and she actually did a lot better on the formula. So I stopped. At first I did feel really guilty. I felt really guilty, but then I had to let go of that because, honestly, I've never met a 5-year-old that you could tell like they were exclusively breastfed or formula. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like it's truly up to the mother. And I feel like there are so many great options for formula that it's really no reason to beat yourself up for it either if you don't breastfeed. I definitely think it's something that I feel like everybody should at least maybe give it a try. But there's no shame in not breastfeeding either. Somebody had asked if all my kids live with me. So 4 out of my 5 live here in the home. I do have an older son who is 18. He does not live in the house with me. So, but I don't know. I guess I just feel like, it's kind of your own preference. Whatever works for you. But I feel like either way, your baby's going to be fed and your baby's going to be healthy. And I do understand that there's a lot of benefits to breastfeeding, but, sometimes that if you're struggling mentally and stuff, those pros might not outweigh the cons. Oh, thank you, Elena. I appreciate that. No, and I do appreciate you guys being here. So I guess since I feel like kind of bad because we're just talking about like mom stuff and it's Women's Wednesday. So I know this doesn't always, tie in with, women are not always necessarily moms. And that's okay. I would never, I feel like that's another thing, a lot of people, some women don't want to have children. And I feel like, that's something that we should respect other women for also, to not, if you don't want to have children. So I kind of feel bad talking about this, but I guess for me, I do have a lot of children. So, I'm just going to talk about a little bit about my mom experiences that I've been going through lately. I kind of wanted to share this story. I was touching about Mercy. So, Mercy, she was very unexpected, very, very unexpected. Frank and I definitely didn't think that we were having any more kids. And he actually had an appointment to get a vasectomy. Then he didn't go because I got pregnant. So I had shared on my Instagram story a couple days ago about I had experienced some hair loss. So a couple years ago, I went through a phase where my hair was falling out by the handfuls. I would cry every time I was getting a shower. I mean, clumps were just falling out. First, I let it go, and then I started seeking out medical attention because I didn't know what was going on with my body. Long story short, they ended up thinking that maybe it was the Mirena. I had the Mirena placed. I had that removed, and my hair was still falling out. And then they also thought it was just stress related because I had my thyroid test. I had so many tests, so many blood tests. They did rule all of that, that stuff out. So I do, like I said, I do have really, really bad anxiety. Yes, it is an IUD. I have really bad anxiety. They thought it was stress related. And at the time, I'm not going to lie, I was under a lot of stress. And honestly, losing my hair caused even more stress. I mean, it was to the point where I actually have, it's called a hair topper that you wear on the top of your head. I have, I don't know how to explain it, but it's also like different kinds of add-in hair because I started getting to the point where I was like, you know what? If this is how it's going to be, I might as well just learn how to live with it. Because I was convinced I was going to go bald. And I definitely had spots that you could visibly see on my scalp. So anyhow, I was going through all this. I started then in June. I went to a specialist. They told me I could try some topical Rogaine. And also, yes, I wore a lot of hats, actually. I wore a lot of hats, actually. So I started going to see another doctor, and they told me to do topical Rogaine. And they didn't start me on this one med, but he said if I wanted to seek it out, I could get some myself. And it was a THD blocker, which is a hormone, like it's a hormone that blocks it. So I started on both of those at that time. I was taking them for a couple months, and then I found out I was pregnant. At the time, I was also a little bit later when I found out I was pregnant. And honestly, at that time, I was in such denial that honestly, I didn't know if I was going to keep Mercy. I will be completely honest with you. I was devastated. I cannot tell you that at that moment I was happy by any means. I can't say that Frank and I were in the best spot in our marriage, and it was a very difficult time. So I contemplated abortion. And that's a whole story that I wanted to, share with Frank. And I don't know, I'm just kind of sharing it now. But, I actually did. He didn't want me to, but he also was like, he was kind of like, well, if that's what you're going to do, you're going to do it. And like I said, that even caused an issue too. So I went to a doctor, and then I found out after because I was still up in the air. I just didn't know what I wanted to do. Like I said, it was a really dark time. And then because I was on those medications, they told me that the baby could be born with a slew of birth defects. So, I obviously stopped taking the medication because I was like, until I decide I need to not take this. But I was taking it in the beginning So at least for a good 10 to 11 weeks, I was taking medication. You know, I actually drove Mercy's first ultrasound was at a Planned Parenthood because I went to go have an abortion and I couldn't do it. I went there. I wanted to go by myself and I just couldn't do it. I mean, yes, you did, Jessica. But I went and I couldn't do it and I ended up leaving. And mind you, I actually went like 3 different times to have it done and I couldn't. So the one time though that we did go, it's so odd. I actually called and I told Frank, I'm like, you're going to have to take me because I can't do this on my own. I couldn't do it. And he drove me and they called and they were like, you can't be late, yada, yada, yada. I'm telling you, never in a million years. I have traveled this road that we were driving on 100 times. Okay. I have never seen traffic. I'm telling you, there was standstill traffic. Frank and I were like, what the hell? What is going on? So I kept, it was like, honestly, it was God. It was God. I know it was. I know he was like trying to tell me right then and there, this is not what you should be doing. And I'm trying to show you, I'm literally putting standstill traffic on a highway that does not have traffic ever. Like I said, I have traveled on that highway a million times and have never seen traffic there. So needless to say, though, Frank and I literally still went. They told me, actually, we can't get you in because you missed your appointment, yada, yada, yada. I was like, is there another time? Is there another day? And they actually were like, at this point, you're pretty far along. So I got back in the car and I told Frank, I was like, I can't do it. I can't do it. And he was like, I don't want you to anyhow. And, and we left and it was like, that was it. Then I was going to have this baby. But mind you, I did know because of the medication that there could have been, different things that could have been wrong. So I had to go to maternal fetal medicine during my pregnancy to see different specialists for my pregnancy. I had ultrasounds constantly because, they just wanted to make sure. And it was really odd too, because at one of her anatomy scans that they told us, that was when, and you're at 20 weeks. So they told us that that's when they would be able to see truly if there was anything wrong. So, I have to go these next couple weeks, and I just prayed. And I remember I just kept asking for prayers and I prayed, and it was hard though. I don't think I've ever been so stressed out in my entire life. And I just remember thinking and telling God, like, oh my God, I was like, bargaining with him almost like, if you just let her be okay, I'll, do this or do that, and because in my head, I didn't really know. I just didn't know. Yeah, I had asked a lot of people for prayers. I mean, random people, I would ask for prayers. It was like, at that point, I just wanted everybody's prayers for her. So anyhow, as going through though, they start, they did, that I had the genetic testing done, which they said you couldn't see anything on that besides her gender. They did tell me the one thing is if she would have been a boy, that she would have been at higher risk for birth defects, because one of her birth defects that could have happened would have been more common in a boy. So I remember getting that phone call, and we had called because I had the genetic testing done and I had asked for the gender. And Frank and I were both in the car, and I remember I was like, what is it? Because they're like, oh yeah, we see you here, because I kept checking my online thing and it wasn't giving it to me. Well, here they had my wrong email address. And anyhow, she's like, well, I have your results here. I was like, well, tell me what is it? And they told me, it's a girl. And I was so happy to have a girl because, one, for that, the reason with the medication that I was on, and I wanted a girl too. So anyhow, needless to say, then a couple months went on. And then I would say it was 1 year ago, literally exactly 1 year ago, I just got so depressed. I mean, I was so depressed. I was having panic attack after panic attack after panic attack. And it was horrible. And I know Jessica knows this because she was somebody that I spoke to a lot at that time. Sorry, I don't know what William said, but it was horrible. At one point, I literally thought I was going to have to admit myself into a hospital because I just thought I wasn't going to be able to do it. And I mean to live. I just never had these feelings that I had felt before. So anyhow, I got through it and things started getting better. And honestly, it's like my hair stopped falling out. So my hair stopped falling out. I had this beautiful baby girl. At the end, though, I was a little nervous because they started telling me that she wasn't growing. She's, this, that. And they did take me earlier by C-section because they thought maybe it was my placenta or something. And I ended up having her, and she was perfect. I honestly think they might have had my dates wrong. But even so, even if they didn't, I had her. She is perfect. And I remember having my C-section and telling Frank, I just was like, you go look and tell me if she's okay first. Can you please tell me that she's okay first? And he did. He's like, no, she's, and he actually recorded it. So, we have all of that. But I don't know. I guess needless to say, I don't know. I just started sharing that story. But I am blessed. I am really grateful that, how did I get out of the worst depression? Oh my God. Literally, I had to take it minute by minute. And I'm telling you this minute by minute. You can ask Jessica. There were some days I literally text her all day long because I just didn't think I could. I literally was like, I don't think I could live. But here I am living. I'm still living. I'm still going. And I'm very happy I'm living. Very happy, I had this baby. And this isn't a story to discourage anybody from doing what necessarily they did or to make them feel guilty or shameful for if you did have an abortion. This was just my personal story. So, I just wanted to share that. Cause I'm not judging anybody on their choice. Cause you never really can walk in somebody else's shoes. So I had a C-section, and Frank he was videotaping, and literally they yelled at him, for videotaping, and he's still videotaped. But anyhow, Jessica, yes, women do need other women. Absolutely. I 100% 100% agree with that. I didn't always think that way. Thank God I am not the same person I was before. And that was just honestly before that was my own insecurities. Yeah, and I still have insecurities. I still, I still do. Marissa, you had an abortion when you were 18. I know a lot of people have, and I definitely feel like, that is a choice that that person has to make. Because like I said, I'm not in somebody else's shoes, and I'm not judging anybody on anything that they have done. So, but yeah, I definitely believe that Mercy is, I mean, I believe all my children are going to do great things. But I definitely feel like she is going to do great things also. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's just, I don't want to like go too much into that like topic, I guess, of abortion. I guess, I'm going to be very transparent with you. I have had one. It was a very hard decision that I had to make. I definitely feel like I went through a grieving process, and I had, and that was something that I had to work through my own guilt. At the time, I was not in the best shape. So, that, and like I said, that's something that I had to go through and work through, and for me, and I had to deal with that with my God, because, I honestly believe that God is a forgiving God. So, I don't believe it's a form of birth control, but I do believe for me in that situation, that was the best thing that I could have done at that moment. Yeah, and it's definitely, and I just put it out there, for, I was younger too at that time. And, that was one of my, stories, that's something that goes along with it. And like I said, I am not judging anybody, because, that's it's definitely a hard decision. Definitely, but like I said, I definitely don't believe it's a form of birth control either. So, but it's none of my business what another woman does. And it's none of my business, and also, like I said, I haven't walked through their shoes either. So I don't, that's not for me to judge somebody. So yeah, we do have a really good support group, I think, in here. And yes, Marissa, is definitely a very touchy subject. That's why I kind of like didn't want to go into it. I know there are some people that feel very strongly, and I can respect that. So Gypsy Girl, my personal thoughts on the Mirena. My personal thought on birth control, to be honest, and hormones, I feel like we're too quick to put hormones in our body. I definitely feel like, long-term effects, we don't know what's going to happen. So I have a non-hormonal birth control. I should have got my tubes tied, but I didn't. And I'll be honest why I didn't. I did not get on I did not get my tubes tied. I was going to tie my tubes. I know there's some people that honestly, and I feel like some people are so like nosy and almost rude. Like, like after I had Mercy, people were like, oh my God, did you get your tubes tied yet? And I'm like, or even when I was pregnant, like, are you going to get your tubes tied after her? And I was like, really? Like, I feel like that's a very personal question. And honestly, it's really none of your business. But if I feel like telling you, I'll tell you. So, for me, at the moment, because I didn't know if there was going to be, if there was anything, I hate to say this, but with Mercy, I didn't know if there was going to be anything wrong. So, Honda mommy pull out method. um, so when my doctor had asked me, she said this is exactly what she said. So I need you to know that if there's something wrong with this baby, that you would be okay making that permanent decision to not want to have children anymore. And I was like, no, I don't think I would be okay. Because honestly, at that point, I wanted a baby. I was excited for a baby. I, went through my whole pregnancy. Like, yes, was it a good pregnancy? No, not at all. But, I just, no, Monica, you're 100% right. Yes, get him snipped. So, that's why I did it, because at that point I was a little nervous that I just didn't want to completely take that chance, because I thought if there was something wrong with her, I think I would have tried to have another baby, because, at that point I was, excited and happy. Hi, Cody. I was messaging her earlier. So, but yeah, and it's definitely, not to be, but it's easier for men to get it than it is for women.
To get what?
To get a vasectomy, right?
That's not what you're talking about. What are you talking about? Get some pussy?
No.
It's easier for men to get it than women?
It's easier for men
to get a
vasectomy than it is for a woman to get, I don't know.
Is she on here talking shit about me, y'all?
Tell him the truth.
Because I don't want to get a vasectomy. Let me get some of that coffee.
You hit her? I hit her because I pulled it away.
Yeah.
Oh,
baby, dude.
I'm so sorry.
All right, I'm out. Can you, real quick, y'all? I'm sorry, and I'm out. But real quick, we're gonna be shooting a series. Maybe I mentioned it on the channel, but I wanted to shoot a movie, like a short movie, an hour and a half movie. But I decided to do a series. So we're going to be shooting a series. Hopefully, yes. Sandy, I seen your comments. Sandy sent me a message on Instagram. She's like, who's starting drama? Mm-hmm. Because I put, it's going to be, it's going to be, it's not going to be like a, like a, I don't even know if drama was the right word, but that's what we're going to be doing. So hopefully, you guys tune in and check it out. Hold up. I see the enough.
Yes. Here, her Cash App. Yep. We got you. Yeah, definitely. This was definitely a woman's talk tonight, but
it's coming right now. Hold on, how do I do it? Okay, pay to what's the Cash App?
Yeah, I'll give them some drama. I don't know how to scroll up. Set it. Can you send it?
Hold on, I'll get it. Then I'm gonna be an actress.
Lynn.
Oh damn, I'm way off.
LYNN One Love. Lynn One Love.
Carolyn Denuth. Correct?
Is that
Carolyn Denuth? Baby, do my love. You need daddy in your life, baby.
And Mercy sweats terribly.
But we're going to be shooting that as series. Okay, then.
The mommy said, you want my cash out too?
Oh, shit. Here she goes. Just saying. There you go. All right. Have a good night, y'all. You wake her, you take her. Be quiet, Mandy.
Yeah, you know the rules, Mandy. You know the rules. Well, thanks for listening. Yeah, Daddy's turn.
Come on, let's go.
Well, treat yourself to something good with that money. Treat yourself to something nice. I don't. I guess I'll let him talk, but it's just like a little series that he wanted to do. So and I'll give you my Cash App too. Shoot, I'll give him my cash. I don't even have Cash App. I'm not even gonna play. I don't have Cash App. I don't have PayPal. I don't have any of that. I'm like so out of like tune with that stuff. I need to like get with it. So Haley. But yeah, I mean, I hope, thank you. I hope that, I don't know if that, I don't know really why I shared that. I hope if anything, it inspired somebody else or, I don't know. And honestly, too, like I said, when I tell you literally 1 year ago, I was in this same kitchen, this same exact kitchen, having a panic attack, feeling like, literally, it was like, I don't know, maybe 12 at night to like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. I had panic attacks after panic attacks. I remember I just literally sitting out, and then I would go out to my car and sit in my car and just, I don't even know what I was doing. I was just doing stuff. I would just drive and drive. And I just thought, like, literally, I can never tell you that I felt like that being sober, Okay, thank you, Marissa. I'll make sure to look at that. I can never tell you that I felt like that ever in my life being sober. That was the first time I experienced the point where, I was really ready to, I was ready to literally kill myself. And I hate even saying those words. I literally hate saying those words come out of my mouth, but that's where I was. I remember planning stuff out for my kids, like how my kids would be, and because I just didn't think I was going to. I didn't think I was going to ever get through that. And, I did. And there's still times that I look back, I just went through a very painful, hurtful time. Yeah, that anxiety just was horrible. The anxiety, the depression. So you mean you're almost there, like that's how you feel, Laura? And I remember feeling like that a lot when I was using. I would use and think that I would never get out of this. But using, at least some of that was numbed by does that make sense? I was using, but some of it was numbed. So, being completely sober. And I remember going to the doctors and them telling me, they want to give me something. And I just was, at that point, I was so scared to take anything because of the complications I was already having. Yeah, Laura, it honestly, it is better to talk about it. I don't know if you have a support person, you have any kind of support people in your life, that even honestly, sometimes even I know it sounds crazy, but there are times that I didn't want to talk on the phone, but I wanted to text somebody. I don't know, maybe it's more of a generational thing, but I would even feel okay texting somebody. And sometimes it wasn't that. Sometimes I had to call somebody, but definitely talk to somebody, Laura. Definitely talk to somebody, because there's always there's people that will listen, and sometimes just that listening ear, sometimes they don't even have to say anything. I know sometimes I'm not even looking. I'll tell people too when I'm talking to them, I'm not looking for you to give me advice, and I'm not asking for your advice. I just need to talk. Oh, no, you don't at all. I will say, I have sometimes a bad habit of returning text messages. Will say that. And sometimes my kids will have my phone and like they'll open a message and not tell me. So then I don't even see that it was a new message. So, but yes, like if you just have somebody, Laura, that, can definitely listen. Yeah, definitely. And Laura, the thing about this group here is like, you say that they'll like, honestly, people will give you their email or maybe, anything and like message each other, maybe exchange numbers, or at least, maybe your social media so you can DM each other. Right, Honda Mommy? We are. Sorry, Mercy, I just scared her. I don't know if you guys saw her jump. So, yeah, listen, there's a lot of times I have 3 sisters, and a lot of times I'll have to just tell my sisters, listen, well, congratulations, Becky, for your 6 days clean. Listen, when somebody's on here and they start saying they have a couple days, a week, 2 weeks, it just reminds me of how I felt going through that. And, honestly, if nobody told you, I'm very proud of you. I'm very proud of you for doing that, because Lord knows the withdrawal is not easy, the physical and mental. Monica, I'm so sorry. Is Laura still in here? I just wanted to make sure that, I don't want to end this and she's... Yeah, everybody, honestly, I just feel like, all of us should be... I don't want to say all of us because I don't want to... But, if you pray, if you ladies pray, I feel like we should be praying for one another. And if you don't, send, your good vibes and well wishes to one another, because I feel like that's really important for us to be doing that. Because I know there's a lot of, I feel like everybody in here, is going through something. And if you're not right now, things, because I feel like, our lives are definitely an up and down. They're never just this. They're up, they're down. So, everything might be going good now. Who knows what tomorrow brings. But either way, we're gonna get through it. We're gonna get through it. So, oh, Tammy, that would be awesome. Yes, I'll definitely join. What time will you be doing this? Female Friday. I like that. I am gonna be ending this at 8:00. Okay. So if we wanna, are you doing it right from your channel? So, if we want to, subscribe to Tammy's channel, and on 8:00 Friday night, she's going to be doing her Female Friday. I also want to add, real quick, if anybody in here has Instagram, tomorrow, my sister-in-law is doing, if you want to follow her on Instagram, it's Mothering Maritza. If you go follow her, she has some really good stuff to say. She's all about feminine energy. She also does, your feminine energy. It's all about your cycle. So your feminine cycle. And she goes into depth about that and how it's just, really working in her lives. And she has also done amazing stuff in my life too, and has helped me in so many ways. So, if you, like I said, if you guys have Instagram, I would definitely encourage you guys to check her out. And she is doing a thing tomorrow at 8:00. You do have to pay for it. But if you're not interested in paying for something right now, you just want to check some of her stuff out, see what she's about. She has some lives, some videos that she has posted. Oh, good night, Cody. So, but I am going to be heading out to put this little girl to bed. So I just want to say thank you, everyone, for being here tonight. And sorry, I was just reading some of these comments. So I think it's Monica. Her Instagram is Mothering Maritza. So you can look her up through mine. So now I have a fussy baby. So, but yes, I want to thank you all for joining me. Thank you for everybody being so encouraging and uplifting one another. And I really appreciate all of you. And, just, try to be nice to one another. And, hopefully tomorrow everybody can tell another woman in your life, give her a compliment. Tell her that she's doing a good job. So I thank you for you guys, and have a good night. Okay.